everyone. So why is it that I'm able to deal with hunger in such a way that I satisfy my hunger? And I'm not constantly feeling like, boy, if I just could eat a little bit more, I wish I could have this, I wish I could have that. Well, I'm not saying that I never say I wish I could have this or I wish I could have that. I can sometimes, as I mentioned many times before. But the big method, if I could put it that way, that I've used is eating foods that are nutrient dense. Now, why does that work? Why do I not have constant cravings all the time? Why am I not hungry more? Why, when I'm just slightly hungry, can I say, oh, I'm good. I don't need it, and really truly mean that? Well, it's the nutrient density of the food that has the micronutrients it's supposed to have. It hasn't been changed around. It has a protein level to it. Now, not everything has a great protein level to it. It depends on what it is. But there's some protein in there usually. There's a nice mix of macros. But the micronutrients are a big deal. Usually, when somebody's craving something, it means that their body needs it. If I don't eat enough of certain kinds of foods, I'm going to crave them. Say, I stay away from fruits, and there are certain micronutrients in fruits that may not be there in such great abundance in vegetables, especially certain vegetables. And there are certain nutrients in starches that aren't in fruits and vegetables. It may be that I'm just craving more protein, or maybe I'm just not eating quite enough fat, and my body is telling me, yeah, I could really use some of that. And so I listen to my body a little bit, and what am I really craving, and what is a nutrient dense whole food that I can eat? Or when it's minimally processed, of course, is fine too. And by doing that, my body's not screaming for certain micronutrients it's not getting. I'm not staying away from all carbs, or keeping protein way too low, or keeping fat way too low. I mix things up, of course, but overall, I'm just having some of everything that's a healthy thing. And yes, I will have some sugar as well. But, I'm careful about how I have it. I don't have it all by itself. And sugar as in table sugar, honey, that kind of thing, or something that has a lot of it in it. And, so once in a while, I would like to have a brownie or a cookie, or, whatever. I have a major sweet tooth. Or I want some dark chocolate or something. And I can fit that in lots of days. Something in that range. And so that's the big thing is, as my big thing I always talk about is whole foods. Why? Because they satisfy your hunger much better than ultra-processed foods, or foods that are, lots of starch and sugar, or sugar and fat, or fat and starch. And those are lovely, and sometimes those will do the trick for keeping it down to a quiet roar. They're great, but to really truly feel satisfied and not feel like you're oh, I never can get enough to eat. Oh, I wish I could eat a little bit more, but I know I can't. It's a calming effect to eating foods that are delicious. And then there are a lot of foods that are just absolutely delicious that are whole foods. Just look it up. Look up what it is. And another thing is saying you can't have some you can't cook it in some oil or some butter or something like that. You can put some wonderful spices with it that, you can't mix it up with something that's maybe not quite as great, or put some sugar on it. I mean, hey, um, I'm not a person who's against sugar. I just, it's got to be anchored properly, and and then I do really well with it. And then also, I don't consume artificial sweeteners anymore, especially not artificial sweeteners and sugar together. That gives me the worst sugar cravings, even though I've had some sugar. So I don't do that anymore. And I'm doing really well at keeping my calories down. In fact, sometimes I keep them they're a little too low, and I need to add something that's a little more, you know, not as whole foods like a cookie or something, to have enough calories in my diet. But yeah, I feel nourished, and so something to think about maybe. Have a good day.